Welcome back to On the Rise, the latest Canada news, and today Wolverhampton Wanderers have recalled Theo Corbeanu from his loan spell with Blackpool, of course after his injury, but the 20-year-old Canadian winger is a very bright and brilliant talent who I highly rate as one of our best prospects coming up, and Theo Corbeanu is a brilliant player. This year for Blackpool he's had 17 appearances, going with 3 goals and an assist. On paper that might not look the best, but he has been brilliant and very good for Blackpool when he's had the chance to play. Of course he's gone down with his injury around the World Cup time, and now it's going to be very interesting to see what Wolverhampton Wanderers do with him. This is going to be a very exciting and interesting situation for Wolves, as they've released a statement as well as Blackpool, which I'm going to dive into, which is why this is going to be mostly a reaction video to what Blackpool's put out as well as Wolves, and this is going to be my true takes from today's recalling of Theo Corbeanu. And tomorrow or the next day I'm going to have a video talking about if I think he'll get loaned out again or if I think Wolves will keep him as an impactful substitute in their survival hopes, which I think might be what they might do. But this is very interesting as Wolves have put out a very interesting statement on their website around the 5 players they've recalled on loan, as Theo Corbeanu is of course one of them, and they have released a paragraph around Theo Corbeanu which I want to dive into. Before we do, guys, we're going to jump straight into things, but before we just do that, make sure to drop down below, hit that sub button, guys. We just hit 60. Let's keep moving on. Drop a sub, hit that like button, and let me know what you guys think down below in the comments on whether Theo Corbeanu will be loaned back out. What are your guys' general thoughts on him being recalled to Wolves? Let me know down below in the comments. We're going to jump straight into things, and it's very interesting what Wolves have put out. Blackpool have also put out a statement here, as Blackpool does say on their official website, Theo Corbeanu has been recalled by Wolves from his loan spell with the Seasiders. The club would like to thank Theo for his efforts during his time with Bloomfield Road and wish him the very best of luck for the future. It's a great statement by Blackpool, but Wolves do go on to say that they have recalled 5 players, young Wolves players, from their loan deals, and of course Theo Corbeanu is one of them. And they do have a statement here with Theo Corbeanu, and they do go on to say that Corbeanu was enjoying a faithful loan spell in the championship with Blackpool, where the winger had found the back of the net 3 times in 17 second-tier appearances, of course, in the Sky Bet Championship, but now returns to his parent club for assessment of an injury before a decision will be made on the next stage of his development later in January. So this injury truly with Theo, they want to look at how long it's going to set him back, what really is going to affect him with this ankle injury, of course. So it's going to be very interesting to see if it's a long-term injury, how long this injury might be, because they might just want to send him back out alone, as they do say their next stage of his development later in January. So potentially it's going to come later on in the window. So are they going to loan him out? Are they not going to? It looks like this is going to be a decision that's made up on this injury. So it's a very interesting situation. I really like what they've put out here on their players that they called back out, because this could be a huge, if Theo Corbeanu gets to stay with Wolves, gets some impactful appearances off the bench, he could truly show himself. And maybe if Wolves go down, which I truly think they're going to, maybe he gets a chance to shine with them in the championship. Because look at Pedro Neto, he's not staying there. Guedes isn't going to stay there. So many talented forwards that they have won't be staying with Wolves in the championship. I think Theo Corbeanu could get a real run at things with Wolves in the championship, because I think that's where they're going. But right now, Theo Corbeanu could have some impactful appearances off the bench with Wolverhampton Wanderers if they do decide to keep him. And that statement right there is very interesting, as they want to assess his injury before making up their mind and decision late in January on his development. So by development, you look at things there, that probably does mean they're looking to loan him out later in January, which I'm not really surprised by. But I do see that they might keep him as well, because I think that could be crucial to Wolves' run into survival later in the Premier League window. They need depth. They're in multiple competitions, of course, FA Cup, League Cup, what have you. And they might not be in the FA Cup or League Cup. They might be knocked out of one of those, my bad, guys. But it's a very interesting situation. Multiple trophies in the championship as well for Theo Corbeanu. He's playing very good for Blackpool. But that injury is very interesting. So it's going to be interesting to see when they do decide to make up their mind here, when they want to loan him back out, or if they do decide to keep him, because I would really like to see him stay with Wolves and get a chance off the bench, whether it's a 15-minute cameo, whether it's a 10-minute cameo, just to get Theo running with the ball, dribbling with the ball, as Theo Corbeanu is one of the best dribblers really out there. You look at his numbers, dribbling wise, he is phenomenal. He's in top 98th percent among attacking midfielders and wingers. Dribbles completed is 3.94 per 90. That puts him in the 98th percentile. That is phenomenal. You throw him into the Premier League late into the game. He's a bigger physical winger. He's a stronger built guy. He's not a small winger. He sits at 6'2", and he's quick on the ball, very good at dribbling, tricky feet. You throw him in late in the game in the Premier League, he could create a foul, he could create a chance, win you a penalty. I think Theo Corbeanu coming into the Premier League as a substitute for Wolves might be very interesting, but I'm going to dive into that a bit more in my next video, where I will be looking at whether he will be loaned out or he will be kept with Wolves going into this late stretch into the season. But guys, this is my reaction video to Wolves' statement, Blackpool statement, and just generally into him being recalled by Wolverhampton Wanderers. This is going to be a very interesting time to see what's going to happen with Theo Corbeanu. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Hit that sub button, drop a like, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace.